Allison browsed the news in hopes of finding a contest to win herself a title. She had seen other people with titles that made them look shiny and pretty. Allison wanted to look shiny and pretty also. She had heard from Carmen that sometimes President Handy held contests, and the winners of those contests received titles. Perusing the pages, Allison found a bareback horseback riding contest. Allison loved horses, and horseback riding was her favorite activity next to daydreaming. She wasn't sure about the bareback part, but the contest seemed like it was the perfect way for her to get a title. She raced to the stable where she kept Kaiba penned. He was such a good horse, with a coat of soft, solid chestnut. She hugged the creature before unfastening the saddle, taking him out to practice for the contest. While practicing, Allison decided to take Kaiba along an old familiar trail out in the country. Allison loved riding in the country. Everything was so quiet and peaceful, it gave Allison a serene feeling. Kaiba trotted along happily. It seemed he enjoyed running through the countryside too. A figure, also on a horse, appeared in the lane. It was Bakuchik. Baku was riding Mokuba bareback, who looked almost exactly like Kaiba, except for a small white spot alongside his nose next to his eye. Allison pulled Kaiba up alongside Baku and Mokuba to have a friendly chat. Baku housed Mokuba in the same stable where Allison kept Kaiba. The two had gotten to know each other quite well and were good friends. "Hello," greeted Allison, pulling up alongside Baku Chick. "Hi," the chick replied. "How are things going?" "Good. Did you hear about the upcoming title contest?" "Yes. I plan on riding Mokuba for the contest." "I hope to win with Kaiba here." Allison patted her horse on the mane. "You know, there's going to be a town meeting right before the contest," Baku continued. "Okay. What are we discussing?" "Everyone is getting together to discuss the possible return of the former deputy sheriff, H.D. Dr. "Why him?" "Some of the people didn't like how he's forced to leave town, and they want to talk to Mayor McCheese and President Handy, too, to see if they can let him return." "I see. H.D.Dr. was kind of a jerk. Why do people care so much?" "H.D. was tough, but he kept things interesting." Well, I'd better get Kaiba home." Allison turned Kaiba around and headed back to the stable. Bakuchik waved farewell, but Allison didn't see her. She was lost in thought. She had just come to town a couple of months before H.D. was kicked out of town. She didn't really know him except for a few rumors. She would attend, watch, and maybe speak at the event. The day of the town meeting and contest came. Allison stabled Kaiba in the arena and hurried over to the city hall, taking her seat just in time for the meeting to begin. There was a loud din, and people were waving signs and banners all over the place. A hush fell over the crowd as President Handy took the podium. "Guys, I'm sorry, but there's no way H.D. can come back to town," the president began. "I've discussed it with Mayor McCheese, and there's no way we can allow him to return. This is an open forum, so feel free to discuss the matter as you see fit." One of the well-spoken and well-respected members of the community arose. "H.D. should return because he didn't really do anything wrong. Was his final act before being forced out really the last straw?" "Yes, it was," the president answered. Many more people weighed in on the topic at hand, some who knew H.D.Dr., some who did not. The discussion was going nowhere, and many of the old-timers were getting upset over some of the newcomers' comments. Allison was getting tired of the arguments. She wanted the meeting to be over so she could compete in the contest. Just as she was about to open her mouth to say something, the crowd roared and began rushing the stage in a frenzy. Allison was on the verge of getting crushed by the swarming crowd when a shot rang out in the room. One of the security guards had fired a warning shot from his pistol. The bullet ricocheted, hitting one of the townspeople in the meeting hall. Aaron Rivers was struck in the shoulder, collapsing onto the floor before being picked up and rushed out to the hospital. The mob ceased their bickering long enough for the meeting to draw to a close. Now came the title contest. Allison entered the stable. It was poorly lit, so it was difficult to make out which horse was Kaiba. She climbed on the back of the horse she believed was her own and waited patiently for her name to be called. Once it had been called, Allison proudly trotted into the arena high atop her powerful steed. She had a simple routine with a few medium jumps planned. However, just as the horse came to the first fence, a ghost from the Death Note Hill appeared, spooking the creature. The horse began racing around the ring, bucking and kicking wildly. It was all Allison could do to hang on for her dear life. Eventually, the ghost dissipated and the horse calmed down, allowing it to be led to the track where the other contestants stood. President Handy arose. First, I would like to thank all the participants for showing up and competing in today's title contest. But the clear winner of this competition was the girl that displayed amazing courage and strength as her horse took off, flying around the arena, and still managed to hold on. The winner of the contest and the title goes to Allison Walker. Her new title shall be Allison Walker Rides Mokuba Bareback. Allison's jaw dropped in the midst of the applause. Mokuba? Kaiba was her horse. Why would her title be about her riding Mokuba bareback? Hopping down from the horse, after accepting her award, Allison walked to the front of the animal, and sure enough, there, alongside the nose, next to the eye, was the telltale white spot, indicating that the horse she had ridden for the competition was in fact Mokuba, not Kaiba. Kaiba was still in his stall in the contest stable, safe and sound.